Okay, guys, welcome back. Episode 4 of the Fight Feed podcast.
Who'd have thought it?
What a time!
Four deep.
What a time to start the podcast. I mean, could there be much more happening with UFC?
It's popping off, isn't it?
It is popping. I would say it's popping. It's delivering. It's fair delivering. There's obviously the introduction of Fight Island. We finally know where that is. They are stacking 4 cards, going to be in 2 weeks.
Insane.
Starting on the 11th of July, which is amazing. We'll get into that. We'll get into a wee bit more about actually Fight Island itself, what we can all expect from it, and then obviously who's going to be fighting. We've just came out of a weekend as well with a fight card on, which, to be honest, in the last podcast I said...
You did say...
Didn't look that good.
Nothing special.
But to be honest, after watching a couple of the fights... pleasantly surprised, actually.
So you watched the fight?
It was better than I thought.
Did you watch them live?
I didn't watch all of them, and I didn't watch them live. I did just watch some of the main card, but we can get into some of them as well.
I've got a wee confession.
What's the confession?
Didn't watch one fight.
That's unbelievable.
Finger's got to get pulled clean out, doesn't it?
He knows we're doing these podcasts, do you know what I mean? And it's you're going to have no opinion on absolutely anything. Did you see the results at least?
Yeah, I've seen the results.
Yes, I've seen the results.
Seen the results.
Wait a second. I could maybe even get the results up and we'll actually take a look at these results. So it was, we had the main event, Jessica Ai and Cynthia Calvillo, which obviously wasn't really exciting for yourself, was it? You weren't interested in it all that much, that main card.
I'll be honest, did she not miss weight, Jessica Ai?
Jessica Ai did miss weight.
Did the co-main event not miss weight as well?
Yeah, there was actually, I think there was 4 fights, 4 people out of this card that missed weight.
Really? That's quite a lot for one card.
It's quite a lot for one card, and obviously Dana White actually spoke on it, and he was just kind of like the way he normally is. There's no excuse for really missing weight. And to be honest,
it's understandable, but during lockdown.
Do you think it though?
What else is there to do?
How many fights
apart from meat?
Exactly. I suppose there is that. But how many fights has there been? There were quite a few fights back, and there's not been many that have actually missed weight, if any.
No. I mean, you're paid to be fight at that weight class. You know what I mean? That's your only job is to make weight and fight.
Exactly. You know
exactly. There is no excuse.
I mean, the Jessica Ai should technically only miss weight by
was it much
0.25 pounds.
Really?
But that's a wee bit controversial as well because people are thinking that she actually was holding on to the tibble.
Oh, the old DC trick.
Yeah, the old DC trick where he was like holding his hands
Your
on
old da.
So people reckon she was actually more than that. And I think there was actually like a message from her
obviously
coach.
The fight still went ahead though.
Fight still went ahead.
What do they do in that case? Is it they take 20% of your purse and give it to the other fighter? Is that right?
Would they have done that for?
I feel that's what
£5?
I think if you miss weight, you miss weight.
You miss weight. It is a missing weight. I reckon she was because I think they were expecting to miss weight. I think.
So she won the fight.
No, she didn't. No, it was a decision, and it was actually a ridiculously impressive performance by Calvillo, the smaller fighter. You could tell straight away that Jessica Ai was so much bigger. But honestly, it was an extremely impressive performance. Like,
is she not in Team Alpha Male?
Who, the Calvillo?
Calvillo, I'm pretty sure she is, because that's who fought in Glasgow. Remember, she fought Jojo Calderwood in Glasgow.
So she did, and she got the decision, didn't she?
Decision at that fight as well.
I don't think it was a split decision against Calderwood.
Unanimous, I think.
Was it unanimous?
I think
was
so. I could be wrong. We need to double check that.
See, to be honest, it was a great performance. To be honest with you, she was a lot smaller, but she used wrestling, striking. She just kept whenever she took her down, it was just that she had the control.
She was dominant.
She was dominant. So to be honest with you, it was a really, really good fight.
I'll need to watch a highlight. So obviously it'll be on Fight Pass. So
definitely
I'll watch it.
Another really, really good fight on that actually was Andre Feely. And
that's kind of the only fight I was interested in, like from that card.
Did you watch that?
I didn't watch all of it. I watched like the first round.
They were really well matched up.
I like the way he fights, man. He just goes forward.
They were both
stays on his feet.
They were both extremely similar in styles. I thought they looked very, very similar. And Feely, did you watch the first round? Feely get dropped.
I didn't even watch the full first round. I didn't see him get dropped.
What happened to you?
That is actually how much I watched. Half a round of one fight.
Half a round, that's bad, man.
That is bad.
I think they need to be switched out. That's pretty bad.
You know,
swapsies for
substitution.
Yeah, so I mean, that was a cracking fight. To be honest with you, like 2 really good performances. They were pretty.
Was that fight of the night?
Evenly matched.
Because I think they were saying that's probably got more potential.
I think it definitely had the potential of being fight of the night. Good performance from Andre Feely. Do you know what I mean? Could have almost went either way. He was dropped in the first round.
Was he wobbled or was he just like?
No, he did look hurt. I think even after the fight, he wasn't quite sure actually what hit him. He thought it was a kick, but it wasn't. It was just, I think it was a punch that got him. But I think what kind of won him was he was good takedowns. It was like takedowns near the end of rounds and stuff. That's kind of what won him the fight, because in the striking they were pretty even, to be honest with you, and they both had like pretty similar styles. It was
a split decision.
Aye, that would say a split decision. But to be honest with you, it was a better card than I thought it was going to be. I think it was just disappointing with people like obviously missing weight and stuff.
Aye.
I don't think there's much excuse. Like, I mean, we're in the pandemic and all that. We're in lockdown, but you know there's a fight coming. And
I mean, that's literally your only job, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think this Jessica Ai, like, she actually makes a big deal about other fighters missing weight. That's the thing. She's like obviously made massive deals of.
In the past.
So she's like saying, look, like it's professional. She's
only got one loss. That's Cynthia Cavillo. One loss. That's not a bad record.
It's a good record. 9-1-1.
She'll be 10-1-1
she's
now.
Obviously she's just came to this weight class, and that's her. She's literally taken out the number one contender, so it's putting her in a great position. And it was, to be honest, I was actually really impressed with her performance, being so much smaller. It was just the way she managed to control it. Whenever she got a takedown, she just controlled the fight. It was a really impressive performance.
We need to watch that one then.
No, you definitely need to get into these fights, 100%.
It's not like me as well. I'm usually all over it.
Yeah, our girl Calderwood called out Jessica Ai. Not called out in a fight, but kind of spoke a wee bit in terms of her missing weight.
Recently,
yeah. Literally just after the fight, she spoke about it, because there was a wee bit of controversy. Like, Jessica Ai does make a massive deal about other people missing weight, other fighters missing weight, and she made out that it was only 0.25 pounds, which does seem like nothing, but everyone is saying, yeah, you were definitely holding on to the towel. So Jessica Calderwood came out, kind of called her out. Joe Calderwood, sorry.
Jessica Calderwood, come on, she's Scottish, Steve-o.
Joanna Calderwood.
She was supposed to be fighting for the belt and all. Shevchenko. I gave Shevchenko.
She is. She's going to fight for the belt, is she not? That's arranged, is it not?
I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was arranged, but I think Shevchenko pulled out. I think they've kind of... what's the word I'm looking for? They just kind of held off on it.
Have they? But it is definitely the next
fight. I think it's going to go ahead, aye.
Yeah.
Aye.
No, that's good. No, I'm looking.
That's pretty big for Scottish, man. I don't think any Scottish fighters ever fought for any belts. They haven't.
Nah. That would be good to bring that to Scotland, I think.
Bisbing's the only guy from the UK to fight for a belt.
Scotland's not.
Darren Till, I guess, fought for the belt against Woodley.
Darren Till, but we're Scottish.
I know, but UK.
Got to support UK.
Got to support the UK fighters.
Aye, definitely.
I do like Darren Till.
No, Joanna Calderwood is definitely flying the flag.
She certainly is.
We've got a couple of Scottish fighters, but
where's that fight going to be? Do you know?
No idea. I have not got a clue where that fight's going to be. No. I thought it'd been arranged, to be honest.
I think it definitely was arranged, but I'm not sure if it's like still like set in stone. Do you know what I mean? Calderwood, Shevchenko. So it was supposed to be at UFC 251, but Shevchenko pulled out with a leg injury.
This is recent then?
This was 31st of March, this article. Leg injury appearance. Shevchenko said...
Aye, that's got to be rescheduled by now,
Aye, surely.
Yeah. It's quite a big thing getting that title shot, to be honest with you.
It certainly is. I mean, against Shevchenko though.
I know.
Shevchenko is literally in a
She's
wrong
dominant.
league.
She's dominant.
I don't see her giving Shevchenko many problems, to be totally
Calderwood
honest.
Sometimes, like, I mean, I know Shevchenko is in a league of her own, but Calderwood has got that, like, just tenacity of just going forward. Just, she's got that grit. Just
Scottish blood.
She's got good aggression as well.
Definitely.
You know, and she's well rounded. She has got some serious skills, but Shevchenko is just.
I think she's like a league of her own. It's almost like you can compare it to Nunes. Do you know what I mean?
Nunes in her division.
She just outclasses everyone she comes up against.
Yeah, I think it's still going to be. It will be massive for Scottish MMA, 100%. Because I mean, we have got a Scottish woman that, I mean, her accent's amazing. It's just
it's phenomenal.
Like the way she speaks.
If you've not heard her accent and you're listening to this, go listen to Joanne Calderwood.
Yeah, she's hilarious.
So funny.
She's hilarious. And so yeah, I think. I mean, I'd love if she managed to win that belt.
It'd be quite something.
It could mean more UFCs for Scotland.
She'd love a wee home.
Because we've only had one UFC in Scotland in the last 2 years.
Aye, I think there's been 2 overall, but that one was like a long time ago. So, I think Bisbing was in Glasgow actually.
The first time.
Aye, Bisbing. Don't know who he was fighting, in fact, but it was Bisbing.
I'd
love to have went to that
main card. Aye, that would have been good. We weren't in that one at that point in time though. But so I mean, if Calderwood manages to pull it out the bag, then it could mean only good things for
That'd be a
Scotland. To be honest with
humongous
you.
upset, though.
It would be. I don't think anyone is
Do you see that
expecting
happening?
it. I feel as if I don't feel as if Calder Wood's had some good fights. She has some good fights,
Aye.
and she makes it ugly. Do
She
you know what I
does,
mean?
aye.
She makes the fights ugly, and if
She
she
loves a
can,
wee spinning back fist, doesn't she?
and if she can manage to do that to Shevchenko, if she can actually manage to get inside, make it a bit more of an ugly fight where
Yeah.
Shevchenko's not just in control, keeping the range,
Yeah.
then you just never know what can happen because she does
Exactly.
have power.
She does.
But I think it is going to be one of those ones that would be like a full 5 rounder.
Aye.
It's going to get dragged out unless I think if anyone's going to finish it, it would probably be Shevchenko.
For your head kick knockout.
Her head kicks, you've got to watch out for them head kicks, don't you?
It's just, man, they're just so quick.
She's a very dominant champion, but
She reminds me of myself, in fact,
I'm definitely going to be rooting for Joanna
of
Calderwood,
course.
100%.
by flying the flag.
Yeah, definitely. I
Get
mean,
the
what
flag-
an amazing
get the flag
opportunity
up
for
on
her.
that back wall.
I feel as if that chances came out of nowhere.
I know. It's kind of out the blue, wasn't it? You're right.
It was just
aye.
pretty out
It
of the blue.
was.
It's just literally, okay, you're now fighting for it. I think it might
Aye.
be one of those ones that are kind of running out of contenders
Yeah.
for Shevchenko. And it's like, who have we not given her?
And I've actually just seen an article that backs that point up, running out of contenders
Right,
for the
okay.
female fighters.
Is this talking about Nunes?
Nunez. I'll take you onto it right now, in fact. So yeah, Amanda Nunes, basically what it says here is there's nothing else to be done right now. Amanda Nunes contemplates retirement from MMA.
Yeah. I mean, there's not a lot more challenges out there right this very second. I wouldn't say there's much other challenges out there for Amanda
No.
Nunes. But see, to be honest, the last fight, she looked like she was enjoying it.
I think she was just stringing it out for the sheer crack.
Yeah.
You said that as well. Like she could have finished that at any
It does
point,
look
I
like she
reckon.
could have finished at any time, but she almost looked like she was. I mean, she was
Aye.
so dominant in every single position.
She was
it almost
loving
looked like it did look like she was enjoying it, which made I think a lot of people think, yeah, she's not going to retire. She's just going
Aye.
to continue. But I mean, there's also been there's also been talks about her potentially going to boxing, doing a bit of boxing.
Oh really? Aye.
Yeah, but I mean, whether she maybe does that and waits for a couple of contenders to build up in these divisions.
I mean, she's without question the female GOAT.
No, there's no doubt about it.
Like she's won both
taken
belts
out-
and defended
She's
them.
taken out everyone that you would possibly think, okay,
Yeah.
they could potentially have a go. Ronda Rousey, she's done a massive amount for the sport.
Big time.
I mean, she was amazing.
Yeah.
She was a great fighter, but then look what
She made
Amanda
it look,
Nunes
she made it
done.
look easy.
Then also the next person that was extremely dominant in their division was Cyborg.
Yeah.
People were literally giving up the belt for Cyborg,
Yeah.
and then people were actually refusing to fight her.
Exactly.
So, and then Amanda Nunes comes in yet again,
Yeah.
finishes her in
She's
the
beating
first
everyone.
round.
She's literally beating everyone.
It's been extremely dominant in
Aye.
almost every single
She actually
fight.
finished almost all of her fights.
I think that might just be the unfortunate thing right now for female MMA. It's like it's evolving massively and extremely fast.
Yeah.
But at this moment in time, Amanda Nunes is just far
Just
ahead
a brick wall for
of
everyone.
any contenders,
Aye.
and it's just the it's just not there at the moment. Like
No.
the contenders and the challenge for Amanda Nunes, and I guess like you probably do need a good challenge to have like the fire in your belly
Yeah.
to really have to go and train as hard as Amanda Nunes would have to train.
I know.
So,
It's almost kind of like the John Jones situation.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Although
he's almost running out of contenders at that
I
division.
feel as if recently he's struggled a bit hard. Like
know.
I mean, back in the day, I
But he's
think John
beat them
Jones
all.
was getting through them.
But he has beaten them
Dominic-
all, but do you know what I
He
mean?
has beaten them. Dominic Reyes was like it was a pretty close
A
call.
lot of people
people would
say he won that fight.
Yeah, a lot of people are trying to say that John Jones is trying to avoid Dominic Reyes. I don't think he's trying to do
Nah.
that. I don't think you try and avoid Dominic Reyes by jumping into an Ngannou fight.
Nah, that's
You know what
it
I
just
mean?
proves that he's not
That
avoiding
he's, that
anyone.
he's not avoiding anyone.
He wants to go up against the most vicious guy out there right now.
I mean, I wouldn't like to see Amanda Nunes retire, but I definitely want to see a bit more of like a bit more of a challenge for Amanda Nunes. You know, I think maybe she
And I
should
mean,
go.
some people would say Shevchenko, but she's fought her twice already
Yeah,
and won both fights.
Exactly. So it is.
And think
it's
how
going
good
to take.
Shevchenko is.
It's going to take one of these contenders to come up, and I
Aye.
think a massive upset to happen.
Yeah.
And that might happen if Amanda Nunes does start getting bored, if she does start speaking about retirement,
Yeah.
and maybe doesn't have the fire in her belly to train as hard as she needs to. You know, if she's just
Aye.
thinking, yeah, this isn't. Do you know what I mean? If the fire goes, then maybe that might make an upset. But nah, I don't think she should retire. I don't think she will retire.
I think she should go up against Cejudo, to be honest.
Man, that would be so weird to see.
Who think it'd win that?
I mean, what's the height difference? Surely
She's
Amanda
definitely
Nunes would
bigger
have.
than Cejudo.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, surely she would have the length. You know what I mean? And I would imagine she was a lot bigger height wise.
I mean, how does she must be 100%. She's got to be at least 6 foot.
And Amanda,
So Heather's about 5.
yeah, I don't know. That would be pretty funny to see. But
My money's on the nest.
What's the ethics of that? Like a girl fighting a guy, or a guy like hitting a girl and stuff. Is that allowed in
I mean,
MMA?
the sport's getting weird. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't rule it out.
I mean, we've had some pretty crazy stuff.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So I'd love to see that as well. That's not bad.
That.
That's not bad.
What else have I got here? I just stumbled across this wee article.
Okay.
I think you'll be surprised at some of the names on this list.
Who are the highest paid UFC fighters?
Yep.
These names will surprise you.
So, obviously number 1.
Your number one's got to be Conor McGregor. He's pretty much made the sport, and then I think he's made everyone else be able to make a lot more money.
Exactly.
He's made it possible
for everyone
to actually make fighters millionaires.
Yeah.
I feel as if Conor McGregor's actually made that possible.
100%. So who would you guess number 2?
Conor McGregor.
I would never
Khabib.
guess this. Nah.
So Khabib's
I think he will be soon.
Right, okay.
But number 2.
Right, so you've got Khabib.
I think you might shit your boxers.
Okay, let me see.
Alistair Overeem.
Alistair Overeem. So okay, so
I guess he's been doing it a long time.
9.8 million, is that over his
Well, listen to this. I was quite surprised at this wee bit. His last 6 fights have seen him take in over 800 grand on each occasion. So not overall 800 grand. He's made 800 grand on each fight.
Because not all of them have even been the main event.
Nah.
It's like, I mean, that's pretty crazy.
Mad.
That's really mad.
I was shocked when I seen he was at number 2.
He must, obviously, he's still held in very high regard from the UFC then.
Aye.
And, you know, they really do appreciate the hard work that he's put in. I mean, a lot of these he's had quite a few losses
He's taken a few
in this last wee while. That's pretty amazing.
I was quite
Although
shocked at that.
I would want to be making that much money with the amount of damage he's taken recently.
That cut.
His
lip was literally completely separated.
Has separated.
I need to look at that picture actually.
That was extremely bad. And then obviously he had the big gash in his forehead from blades with those elbows.
God, that's so bad.
I mean, there's some seriously bad damage going on there.
Dude.
You know what I was really surprised at? So see if you look at that, right? See how bad that actually looks. I mean,
look at that,
you can pretty
man.
much see his teeth. That was just from a punch.
Mate, that's so bad.
So, but then what was amazing was, see if you look at that picture.
Literally days later.
It was like 1 week, I think. 1 week.
Alistair lip.
5 to 7 days. That's it there.
Where is it? Oh my god, that's insane.
That is unbelievable.
That's crazy.
He must have an amazing plastic surgeon. But
Who else was it that was badly damaged?
Yeah, so
recently.
Recently.
And it was literally the following day. You couldn't even tell you the cut.
It wasn't a cut, but remember Mike Perry's nose?
Oh,
that
really
was
bad.
Literally pretty much up at his eye socket.
Who was it, man?
From getting that knee.
I showed you and you're like, oh, man, he must have some plastic surgeon.
Oh, there was obviously Tyron Woodley as well. Had a massive cut.
That's exactly who it was.
From burns.
That's exactly
and
who it
then
was.
literally even by the time, so he done a Instagram video not long after that.
And
when he was in the car.
It looked like a perfect eyebrow.
And you couldn't even see it. You could not even see it. That was that was quite something.
Yeah, so
that was a crazy cut. That was you know something.
That's horrific.
Something to be said about that. The cut man was amazing. That was made in the very first round, and then rounds 2, 3, 4, and 5, you generally couldn't even see blood come out of it.
I mean, no wonder they want paid more. Of
course. But that was another amazing one. And by the time he was literally back in his car that night making an Instagram video, I could hardly even tell what side the cut was. I had to remind myself.
That's
literally right at the top of the eyebrow. No, it's a bad one. It's a bad one.
Isn't it?
Oh, aye. So who's the third?
Yeah, number 3.
Okay, so
Khabib. That's to be expected.
Maybe it's just because recently. I'm sure after his fight, after whoever he fights next, if it is Justin Gaethje, I'm sure he'll be way up there.
Close to Conor.
Anderson Silva, that's to kind of be expected.
Yeah.
That's quite good. Michael Bisping, that's quite good.
I was just more shocked by Overeem.
Yeah, that's
ahead of Khabib and that.
You know, it's just a good thing to see that Overeem's put a massive. Yeah. I mean, it's just good to see that Overeem has actually put some amount of John Jones. You would have almost expected him to be higher, actually.
Big time.
But yeah, obviously Overeem has put a lot into the sport. He's done a
Aye.
massive amount. I mean, he's been up and down with his career.
Mhm.
He's still he's still dangerous there, and I'm just
Big
glad
time.
that the UFC do still appreciate him, and he is getting what he's worth, you know,
Aye, big time.
which is good. But no, that is quite a massive surprise. Donald Cerrone's there. Donald Cerrone is definitely there because it isn't so much that he makes a lot of money
He's
per
fighting
fight.
every weekend.
He just fights almost every other weekend.
Insane.
It's at least like almost once a month.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
Actually,
Unbelievable.
that's
That's
got
just
to be 4 or 5 times a year he's fighting.
Yeah.
It, which is
and there's
unheard
not
of.
a lot of fighters that can commit to
No.
like fighting 5 times a year. It's pretty unbelievable, and it's not as if he doesn't take damage. He can take
Exactly.
damage. But yeah, no, I'm pretty surprised at that over him. But it's
Mad,
good to
isn't
see, to be honest with you, a heavyweight making
Aye, he
that
deserves
amount
it.
of money. He definitely does. I'm surprised Daniel Cormier's not in there a bit higher.
He was
that
what
when
number? He was
he's-
quite low down. Number 9.
Right, so what I kind of want to get into with you, Michael, is Fight Island. So
I can talk about Fight Island. I love this
we
topic.
love ourselves a bit of this Fight Island,
Yeah.
which is quite unbelievable how they've managed to put this together. It's in
Yeah.
Abu Dhabi,
Yeah.
which is right. Okay, this is one thing to get into. Being Scottish or being from the UK,
Yeah.
I thought amazing. It's in Abu Dhabi, and then think of the last fight in Abu Dhabi. It was
Khabib.
Dustin Poirier and
Poirier, aye.
Khabib,
Yeah.
and how good was that? Because we could actually watch it at a reasonable time.
That is something I was wanting to talk to you about.
Raging.
Literally, these cards are going to be starting at a perfect time for us.
No, they're not. That's what I want to speak to you about. What they're wanting to do is they want to have it at peak time for America. So one thing I want to speak to you about is the fights start at 6 o'clock in the morning for them. So it's just our normal 3 o'clock in the morning the main card will start.
Are you joking?
No, I'm not joking. Not joking. Pretty glad about it, if I'm honest.
That is actually pure pish.
But I would actually want to speak
Because
about
I was excited about that. I was like, it's in Dubai. Last time it was in Dubai, we were able to have dinner and sit down, chill out and watch
That's
this.
it. Have dinner, sit down, we'll be able to get the podcast set up, maybe get our actual genuine reaction to this.
Absolute dog
So
shit.
no, they're wanting to make it prime time for America. It's probably for
it's gonna be-
pay-per-view buys, to be honest.
It's going to be at 3 o'clock main
It'll
card.
be our normal. The main card will start at 3 o'clock in the morning for us. I was
So they've
thinking
not even
it's,
brought it back a wee bit for us
it's
now.
going to be pretty crazy for the fighters. Though that's kind of what I'm thinking. Is the fighters are going to be fighting at 6 o'clock in the morning where they are in Abu Dhabi. It's going to be
Poor
6
guys,
o'clock
man.
in the morning. Can you imagine getting up and for 6 o'clock in the morning you need to fight someone?
So what time will the main card not be fighting over there?
I don't know if it's 6 o'clock. That's the main card. It might be
Surely
earlier.
not.
Surely not. I think maybe the fights start at 6 and they'll
Aye.
maybe need to get up at 4 and stuff.
Fuck that.
But so what they'll probably need to all do is they'll need to go over there and try and I don't know, they've got fighters now coming from all over the world, so it's not just
Aye.
obviously recently being in the Apex, it's really just getting whatever fighters they can
Yeah.
close-ish to the Apex that's going to be able that's how they're going to be able to create the fights. But they're now getting people from the UK.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the fighters that was meant to fight in London, they're finally getting to fight.
Right.
So you're getting people from the UK, you're getting people from America, all over the world really, going here, but everyone's going to have to try and acclimatise to like kind of US time really, because as soon as you're there, it's not going to be normal to fight
Aye.
at 6 o'clock in the
It's going
morning.
to take at least a week or two to adjust
yeah,
to that. Innit?
yeah, they're going to need to be able to like sleep at crazy times.
Aye,
It's going to be
sleep right through
quite
the day
crazy.
pretty
It might be.
much.
I don't know if it might be harder for weight cutting as well. You know, like getting there, the heat must be crazy. And I think that might be another reason why it might be a good idea to fight at 6 o'clock in the morning, because by like midday,
It's gonna be
and like it's
scalding.
going to be scorching. Do you know what I mean?
Because that was almost a problem for the fights last time it was in Dubai,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
it was super hot. It was
Crazy
super
hot.
hot, and that like it adds another dimension in. You know,
Aye,
so there
something
might
you don't
be
usually need to deal with.
there might be a lot of these fighters on here that you might almost count out, like, or might not have had the biggest opportunity. That you might have thought, they're quite a massive underdog. Everything to do with Fight Island is going to be new to both fighters.
Yeah,
you know, like
exactly.
all of the fighters is going
Aye.
to be new to. Nothing is going to seem normal. So it's going to be one of those things that's like, there could be an opportunity there. Someone might not be able to deal with the heat that
Yeah.
well. Their weight cut might have been worse. They might just feel off
Aye,
because of all this.
exactly.
So you might have like quite a few upsets on these cards, I think.
We'll soon see.
So let's take a wee look at the first card that's obviously going to be starting. So everything's going to be kicking off on the 11th of July. And I mean, I don't think much people have seen a card like this.
No.
It's unbelievable. 3 title fights in one card is unreal. I mean,
You've also got Andrade versus Namajunas. That was a title fight at one point.
that was, it
so
was.
that's,
and
they're huge fighters.
I mean, I'm actually
Cage
really
Van
looking
Zandt.
forward to seeing this happened. Like, obviously, because that was quite a crazy fight first
she got
time.
slammed in her head.
Slammed in her head, and that was that. I mean, a lot of people might have thought she'd almost broke her neck. That was
Aye.
like a really,
It's
really
quite
bad
easily could
knockout.
have, man. It was
100%. And then Paige Van Zam's obviously fighting, and I think she's massive in America.
Aye, she's
That
a big
brings
draw.
so many
Big
eyes.
time.
She's obviously been a bit plagued recently, obviously with a lot of injuries and stuff. I think she's broke her arm like,
Aye, her wrist.
I mean, some amount of times.
Let's see, well, that's stitching.
Do you remember I can't remember who she was fighting, but remember she broke it with the spinning back fist.
That's right.
And literally she broke, and I think she's now got plates in
Oh,
after
aye,
that.
she
I mean,
does.
it's unreal. But I mean, she's like a poster girl
Oh, aye.
for the UFC, isn't
Big
she?
time.
The way she looks.
She kind of crosses over into like the public. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Aye.
Because it's like, how can like almost someone that's a model go in there and fight the way she
Aye,
fights? You
that's
know.
it.
So no, I mean, I've never seen a main card look this good. Obviously,
It's been
the
a
main
long time since the card's been that stacked.
yeah, 100%.
I mean, Ferguson Gaethje, that was a good card.
That was an
Doesn't come close
amazing
to that,
card.
though.
But no, I don't think it comes anywhere near to this.
No.
The main event was amazing that all of us were looking forward to.
Aye.
But I mean, this
What's your early prediction for that then? What would you say?
I
Usman
don't-
Burns.
I don't know. So see, Usman and Burns. Obviously, a lot of people would say Usman's got this. You know, he's good almost everywhere, and
Aye.
you would imagine that he has
He's
kind of
proved
Burns' number.
himself as well.
One of the massive things with this fight is they are training partners. They are partners. This is a massive thing.
Are they?
Yeah,
Usman
they
and
come
Burns
out
are
of the same.
partners?
Yeah, they're actually
Do they?
training partners.
I
They
didn't
come out
realise
of
that.
the exact same team, so
Right.
that's quite a big thing. You can see it a couple of ways. Obviously, they're training partners. They're going to know. They've sparred with each other. They're going to know what each other's like. Has Burns seen that and thought, "This is why I'm going to take this fight"? I can see.
I can see holes in his game.
can see
sort of
holes in
thing.
his game.
Aye.
I mean, could that
It's
be
every
something that he's
possibility,
thinking?
Aye. He probably fancies his chances. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Obviously he does.
He's got to fancy his chances. I think the momentum is definitely on his side.
Mm.
This is going to be his third fight in this pandemic, which is pretty
Usman's
massive.
on a bit of a tear as well, right enough.
Usman is on a tear. Like, I mean, he's dominant.
Aye.
The way he
He
managed to
mauled Woodley.
he dominated
Like, I mean,
Woodley
from start to finish.
but then so
Burns
did Burns.
almost did as well.
Yeah, it was
aye.
pretty much the same thing. And then since then, obviously, Kamaru Usman has fought Colby Covington, and that was again a pretty dominant
He stopped him,
performance.
didn't he?
Stopped them in
On
the
the
fourth or the
aye.
fifth.
Yeah.
The fourth.
Not 100%.
A TKO, which is no easy feat against
No,
Colby, to be honest with you.
Absolutely not.
So I mean, I'm really, really excited about this fight.
What's his get with Colby? Has he got anyone lined up?
I'm not too sure.
Have we looked?
I'm not too sure who he's going to be fighting next, to be honest. I mean, this main event has came together, and obviously Burns has managed to get the title shot, which
Yeah.
is amazing for him because, I mean, see when you're a kind of younger fighter coming up, he has literally just went through the rankings
He
so
has.
fast,
He's done phenomenal.
and he's been given the opportunity. Now, I have seen on the news though that I guess everyone knows Masvidal was meant to be getting this
he was,
fight.
I think apparently he was offered that fight.
He was offered the fight. This was the fight that they were trying to get, like, negotiate for, and obviously he was turning it down. I seen recently though, obviously they were speaking about money, and Masvidal just kind of wanted to get the main thing is he wanted to get the same amount that he made for Diaz, which was his last fight. That was kind of the argument. I seen just recently that on a last ditch attempt to make this fight happen between Usman and
Title fight.
Masvidal, Dana White went to them and said, "I will give you the same amount that you fought for with Diaz," and he still turned it down.
I mean, that makes no sense.
Yeah, I think it was like
That's what he was arguing for, and they've offered him it, and he said
that-
no.
That's
That
kind of what
makes
I was,
no sense.
Yeah,
to
that's
me.
kind of what I was wanting to get to. Yeah, it's like, so I mean,
I
the
mean,
reason
think
he made,
Masvidal's alright in the head.
yeah, like I mean, the reason he made so much money with Diaz is because I mean they were fighting for the BMF belt. I know they'd be fighting for the championship. Diaz is a massive draw.
Yeah,
He's a huge draw.
I mean, you got to think Masvidal's a massive draw as well now. Though.
Yeah, I mean, but that's how.
Again, he's not had a chance to prove it post Diaz. He's not fought since, so
no.
it's hard, like, you don't know how much of a draw.
I mean, I think that's a pretty massive statement that Dana White put forward. There was, okay, we're willing to pay you the same amount, knowing that Usman definitely isn't as big a draw as Diaz was. He was almost getting to the point where he's thinking that he was probably going to be overpaying Diaz for this fight, and Diaz still turned it down. I think he turned it down because he said, yeah, this was just a kind of like, it was, he pretty much phoned and said, it's a take it or leave it, this is the last one I could possibly offer you. But I mean, you were pretty much, that is all part of negotiations.
Exactly.
You were finally getting the price that you wanted, and you still said no. And you're saying
that just seems crazy to me. I think he might need him checked out.
aye, and you're saying no to a championship.
Exactly.
I mean, surely when you're in the UFC, you do want to be a champion. And I mean, you are now getting that opportunity to be the champion. Yeah, you've made a lot of money. You've made a lot of statements in 2019. You've fought some of the best.
Aye, 2019 was Masvidal's year.
Oh, huge,
Big time.
huge. And now you're finally getting the opportunity to, I mean, I think the UFC really wanted him to fight Usman, and yeah, I think they were maybe underpricing him. I mean, they were underappreciating him.
But I mean, if you're Masvidal, you've got to think, if I take that belt off Usman, there's
got,
my leverage.
You've got all the control in the world.
There's your leverage.
Just look at the way, I mean, everyone knows that Tyron Woodley and Dana White didn't see eye to eye.
Yeah.
But the reason Tyron Woodley had so much leverage and was able to kind of say...
Because he had the belt.
Exactly. He had the belt and he could do what he wants. Exactly. See if Masvidal really, really believed in himself, which surely he does.
You got to think so.
But it just begs the question. It's like, okay, they're finally offering you the same amount of money that you made for Diaz, which... I think I seen online the bottom line was $500,000, so I think your base was probably $500,000, which is a decent amount of money these times.
Not a bad amount of money.
Why are you not taking the fight?
It doesn't make any sense to me. I can't make sense of that. I'd need to speak to him personally. Try to understand.
We need to get him on.
Better.
We need to get him on and speak to him personally.
So Masvidal, if you're watching this, hit us up and we'll get you on. Son.
I mean, it's all good for Burns.
Oh,
I mean, this is the biggest opportunity that he could ever have got.
He's rose like.
Another one that Burns has obviously came over on top of is Leon Edwards, which you have got to feel bad for because...
I think, did he not get offered that fight though?
He did. Again, was offered the fight.
Didn't let him over.
I don't think he could make the weight. I think I think it's the weight that
the
weight issue.
Why he's not taking the fight?
Yeah, and you've got to feel kind of bad because it's like I feel as if Leon Edwards has been at the top of that division for so long, and every fight he's had in the past 4 fights has been, okay, this is going to make you obviously your next one fight for the belt.
Yeah.
And you've just got to feel bad for him. But I feel as if when you're in that area where you're so close to fighting for the championship, I feel as if you've got to stay ready.
You've got to take the fight regardless.
You
do all you can to make that weight. How can you not make that weight within how many months?
I think maybe
5 weeks, 4 weeks.
I think he's not managed. I don't think he's got a team around him at the moment. He's fighting with his brother, which is obviously another UFC, not a UFC fight, but another
Bellator, I think.
Bellator. So he's got a good training partner, but I think they're training out their shed and stuff. I think maybe he's just a wee bit heavier than he needs to be, but that's a massively missed opportunity for him.
Big time. I think if you're Leon Edwards, you're not like a massive name.
No.
You get given that opportunity, you've got to take it.
What I'm kind of thinking is, right, okay, we've got the Kamaru Usman and Gilbert Burns fight. Why don't we do an Edwards and Masvidal? There's a massive story there.
And a half, by the way.
There's a massive story there where, I mean,
that'd be a much bigger draw, I reckon, than Usman and Burns. You've got that whole backstory.
And then you've got Masvidal and Leon Edwards fighting for the winner of Usman and Burns. There's a massive backstory between obviously the 3-piece and a soda.
Exactly.
I mean, you can easily market that fight, and it could probably, you know, something that would do probably bigger numbers than Usman and Burns would. Obviously, the rest of that card is looking amazing, so that's going to do good numbers.
Regardless.
But I think we should do.
I think so. You've got to hit Dana up and let him know about that.
Because let's say Masvidal just thought, okay, it's too last minute for me now. I know you're now offering me that good amount of money, but okay, maybe it's just too last minute.
Yeah.
And obviously, Leon Edwards isn't maybe able to get to that. That weight, but let's stick them on maybe a month later, maybe in August. So I'm just thinking if
do that in August, you reckon?
Yeah, do that fight in August. It gives both of them the chance. Leon Edwards to get down to weight.
Yeah.
Masvidal, maybe that was just a bit too last minute for him. They kind of like, and maybe this didn't like the attitude of the UFC, like take it or leave it type thing. But it gives him to get over that a wee bit, and I think they could. But that fight would do massive numbers, and then that gives you a number one contender for whoever wins between Usman and Burns.
Exactly.
But who would you like to see now? Not who do you think's going to win. Who would you like to see win that fight?
Usman.
I
do like Usman.
Yeah, I think he's a pretty good champion.
Aye.
Right now, he's not a massive draw.
What about you?
For
who do
the
you
UFC?
For that? Who do you think will win it, and who do you want to win it?
I think Usman's going to win. I believe Usman's like just his overall package that he brings. I feel as if he's going to have what it takes to neutralise Burns.
Aye.
But I feel as if Burns is in the best position possible. He's coming off 2 quite quick succession fights.
Yep.
His cardio looks absolutely amazing. He's taken this. I mean, when you think about it, Usman's had to be thinking about Masvidal. So he's probably been thinking, right, my next fight's going to be Masvidal, or is it going to be Edwards?
Yeah.
There's no chance he's been thinking that it was going to be Burns.
No way.
You know, so he's not been training for Burns.
He's only got that fight because Masvidal didn't take it.
100%.
And Edwards as well.
And Edwards
he's third in line.
So, like, I think everything is set up for an upset there, to be honest with you, because
although he is number one contender in that division,
he is number one. He's flowing
he's
to the number one
leapfrogged everyone
contender.
now.
But so I mean, I think everything it's a perfect storm for an upset.
Yeah, I
in
think
Burns
so.
to win.
Yeah.
So I'm really, really looking forward to that fight. And
It'll be
like,
cracking.
yeah, it's going to be amazing.
I'm
It's
pretty
going to be
gutted it's
amazing.
not going to be at a reasonable time though.
No,
We
will be staying up for that one.
Without
No doubt about it. The Alexander Volkanovski and Max Holloway. Now this one just had to be run back because I think obviously Max Holloway was such a dominant champion. We had to see him getting the rematch, and plus, like, I mean, he'd been such a dominant champion, and I mean, like, in all of his fights, his performances were just, I mean, the best.
He just kept looking better and better and better every fight,
and it just didn't look right the last fight.
Nah, I think that's like an unwritten rule. If you have been that dominant of a champion, you get the rematch straight away.
You've got to.
You get offered it at least.
And I think this rematch is going to decide everything. So right now there's maybe a bit of an asterisk next to Volkanovski being the champion. Not so much. He did win it fair and square, obviously, in that fight. But I think everyone is thinking, okay, was it that Max Holloway didn't show up? You know, he didn't quite look as sharp. Didn't really look as if he was letting go. You know, and he was getting caught with
hesitant.
Very hesitant. So I think if Volkanovski can win this and maybe even finish Max Holloway, it
kind of solidifies him as well.
100%.
Aye.
And then,
but I want to see Holloway win that because
who's
your favourite fighter in the UFC?
Oh, Holloway's up there. I mean,
top
to be
three,
honest with
100% top three.
He's 1,000,000% top three.
Top three.
I love just his whole aura about him.
Yeah.
I love the way he fights, the way he finishes.
Yeah.
He brings it every time. He's definitely one of.
I love that he brings his son along to all the events as well. Rush Holloway.
Yeah.
He's a wee character. Man.
He is going to be. I mean, what do you think he's going to be a UFC fighter when he's older?
I think his dad will probably put him off it.
Aye, maybe.
Because he hates seeing obviously his dad lost and he was like inconsolable. He was crying.
Of course he would be because he's probably used to his dad.
Did you see that clip? Big Shaq O'Neal was like went over to him and gave him a few words.
Oh, was he?
Did you not see that?
No, I didn't see that.
Man. That's so good.
That's so cute. That's really, really cute.
Do you see that?
Because I mean, he'll probably be used to seeing his dad being dominant and winning. You know, it'll be the first time he really seen that his dad lose in a long time.
Exactly.
So I mean, before that, when did Max Holloway lose last? Was it to Conor McGregor?
I think it was. Aye.
And then, it was to Poirier, obviously at upper weight class.
I'll put the volume off. Right.
What's this?
This is going to be the. Because obviously, he fought Poirier, lost to Poirier.
Yeah.
And this is Rush's reaction.
That was quite something, wasn't it?
That was some card by the way.
It was quite.
Aye, so this is it.
Oh, was it against Poirier that he was? He reacted like this too, right? Okay.
There he is.
Aye.
Watch.
It'd be hard to see your dad lose like that, you know. That's nice.
Up.
It's like not even it's the amount of damage Max Holloway took in that as well. That can never be good to like see your dad, especially when you're that age, taking that amount of damage. See that's the thing. Like I've heard quite a few people saying that okay, if Max does lose this rematch, then they would just like to see him move up. But I just don't see his career being moving up. I mean, obviously it'd be easier weight cuts for him and stuff, but.
I've seen that as well. So that's almost like his cue. If he does lose that, that's his cue.
Then that's his cue to move up.
But he's tried it. And
he's tried. You know, it's not as if we've not seen him.
We've said this before. Like his power doesn't transfer.
It doesn't. It doesn't translate. I mean, he does punch in numbers, but I feel as if when you're up at 155, there's so many people with one punch knockout power that. Yeah, I don't want to see him up there. I think his career will only kind of go downhill from up there, if I'm honest.
So. Which I don't want to see.
I don't want to see. I think he's amazing at this weight, and if he can keep making this weight, I don't think he does. It's because he loses the rematch, which is a massive, massive if. There's no reason why he can't come back and.
Who's your money on for that fight then?
I would take Max for that. I think he's going to make the adjustments.
I hope so.
If I'm being completely honest, I didn't think he looked as. I mean, a lot of it might be down to Volkanovski looking so good, but I don't think he looked himself in that last fight. So I think he could definitely.
I hope so.
My heart is like I want him to win. Yeah, definitely.
Defo.
The next is obviously Peter Yan and Jose Aldo. Now I think most people have most people are looking at Peter Yan for this, you know. But I think this is going to be an amazing fight. I think Jose Aldo, right? Yeah, he's definitely going to be an underdog, but he did look decent. against Marvin Moraes. I mean, this is the first time he's probably fought at this weight. A lot of people thought he wasn't going to make it down, and
he looked ill though, didn't he?
He did. See it at the weigh-ins, he looked ill. He did. He looked unbelievable. But I mean, if he can make the weight,
did you see?
He could be a dark horse on that.
100%.
I think again, my heart would like to see.
Not even a dark horse, man. He's fucking amazing.
No, he is. He's amazing. I think a lot of people thinking his prime's over. He's not in his prime, but
coming to the end of his career almost.
Yeah.
But did you see? I don't know who it was. They compared Peter Yan to a Glaswegian scaffolder.
Wow, I see.
He says he looks like a Glaswegian scaffolder.
I was like, that's actually hilarious.
He does as well.
Was that in the comments of some? What was that?
I think
when Dan Hardy and stuff were speaking actually.
The Scouse guy. What's his name?
What is his name?
It was him that said that. I was pissed myself.
That is so funny. You know something? Get a picture of him up actually. Peter Yan, a Glaswegian scaffolder. This is brilliant. That's cracking.
He does as well, man.
Well, I mean, yeah. So if he doesn't win this,
I've seen him all over Glasgow.
He's going to have a great job scaffolding in Glasgow. Sure. Oh, that's. How's that not a Glaswegian accent that'll come out of him?
Where is he from?
Where is Peter Yan from?
I have absolutely no idea.
Yeah, we're just going to claim Peter Yan is a Scottish MMA fighter now, to be honest with you. For talking sake.
Big Peter Yan. Yan, what's Yan?
Peter Yan. Peter Yan. Peter Yan's nationality.
Russian.
That's
big Russian. Doesn't look Russian at all.
Yeah, I think most people have Peter Yan for this fight. But
scheme boy.
You know something? Aldo has surprised me quite a few times, especially when he was fighting Jeremy Stephens. I had Jeremy Stephens in that fight. I was thinking the power of Jeremy, just the aggression of Jeremy Stephens. I was thinking, yeah, he's just definitely going to take Aldo out. And the body shots that this guy was landing was unbelievable. And that was the beginning and the end of that fight, really.
I felt sorry for Jeremy Stephens after that one.
Me too. That was
even most. Did you see the last fight, Jeremy Stephens against Calvin Kattar?
That was some knockout.
I mean, that was beautiful.
That Calvin Kattar is looking insane. To be honest with you, I love every single one of his fights. His boxing is unreal. And it's just getting sharper and sharper. I look forward to every Calvin Kattar fight now. It's unreal.
It doesn't go to the ground. It's on the feet boxing.
That fight I was really looking forward to because I was thinking this is definitely going to stay on its feet. And I thought this could go either way because it just takes one of these guys to land
one shot.
Yeah, and it's going to change obviously the way the fight's going.
Exactly.
And, yeah, it was Calvin Kattar that got an amazing knockout there. It was an amazing knockout.
That was stunning.
So I think we're buzzing for Fight Island. I mean, it's going to look amazing.
I wanted to quickly show you one more thing. I mean, if you don't know about Derek Lewis's Instagram, you clearly don't follow.
You need to go over to Derek Lewis's Instagram. I mean, if you're an MMA fan, get over to there because I mean, you would expect to see just a lot of MMA stuff on someone, but this guy has generally got one of the funniest Instagrams I have ever seen in my entire life.
You wouldn't even know he's an MMA fighter.
No, from his Instagram, you generally just think he's like a comedian.
Wait till you see this. Obviously, every time he posts, he always says he's okay. I don't actually think this guy is going to be okay after this, but wait till you see this.
How can Derek Lewis verify that this guy's okay? Was this a guy chucking something?
I think he's throwing something at that car, right?
Oh,
I think the car's going to let him away with it.
It was going to let him away with it.
I think he's like, I can't be arsed with that guy. And then he throws something else.
The guy's getting confident. He's chucked something else at the same car.
That guy's got to be out. He's not. Which is. I mean, that's got a.
Here, the guy's up quick.
He took it well, didn't he?
Yeah, that guy took that really well. He was up. I mean, does the car come back for more?
He's like a lot of salmon. Oh no! Is that car?
That's that car back. I guess he is okay. I mean, that guy was up quick.
He's definitely okay. But I mean, see the videos he posts.
Yeah,
there's definitely guys that have actually been killed.
The Instagram is amazing. You definitely need to go over and follow that.
Between him and Darren Till's Instagram. Oh, Darren Till's is brilliant.
Yeah, Darren Till's is very much the same.
He's going after Mike Perry now. I shit myself there.
I shot myself there as well. That's another amazing fight going to be coming on is Darren Till.
Yeah.
And Robert Whittaker.
When is that?
That is the.
Is that actually it's been made that fight?
Yeah, it's the last card on Fight Island.
Beautiful.
which is going to be amazing. You know, amazing opportunity for Darren Till. I mean, since moving obviously to that weight division, he's been chucked into 2 massive fights. Kevin Gastelum and now Robert Whittaker. Now he could quite easily. I mean, look at that. He could beat Whittaker, and then that almost puts him way up in that division to potentially fight.
That's definitely
for
a title contender fight, that, because he's just lost the belt, Whittaker.
Aye, yeah. Kelvin Gastelum is also a top 5 fighter.
Yeah.
And I mean,
he's fought for the belt again.
He's fought for the belt. I mean,
was that a belt? Was that a title fight against Adesanya?
Yeah.
Interim title fight.
That might have been interim, and
that
then
interim title.
It was interim, but
and then he unified it against Whittaker.
I mean, like, I guess, Darren Till has been tested at that weight. You know, he has proved himself at that weight now.
I think that's a much healthier weight for Till, to be honest, because he was cutting a serious amount of weight.
Have you seen the photos of him recently? He's looking ripped.
He looks like a beast.
Absolutely, does look like a beast.
That's the one I've seen.
That's the one I've seen as well, the before and after. You know, he's taking it serious. I think he has got a fire under his belly at this weight.
Yeah, it was just something to prove.
I mean, that's a fight I'm really looking forward to. I just see, to be honest with you, I cannot believe the fights that the UFC have put on.
Oh, mate.
There's no other sport doing it. Boxing is always dead scared to put on massive fights.
That's the thing with UFC, like, they give the fights the fans what to see, do you know what I mean? They don't wait till